Oh, no.
Sits of the week.
Mike,
I don't know how I forget
this is
that.
your full-time job, and you haven't corrected that drop.
Yeah.
Where is thy diligence? We want to know. And don't blame your child.
Don't blame Azeroth.
Don't blame any of it.
I would never do that.
Oh, okay.
It's I have nothing. I got it.
All right.
I have no excuse.
All right.
I
Well,
apologize.
All right. I'll just move on.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
sits of the week. Let's start at the quarterback position. Mike, why don't you kick it off? Give us somebody that we can put on our bench.
I'm sitting Derek Carr this week. He plays against the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs are allowing pretty much 10 points a game over the last month. It's just not a situation where I want to play. I'm not playing guys against them. So, and Derek Carr he's had some late season struggles going on. Amari Cooper seems to have hit a little bit of a wall, rookie wall here, and he's also banged up. So I'm not playing Derek Carr.
All right, Jason, you're up.
What are these
All
laughs
right.
about? Oh,
This is what it is. My sit of the week to
whoa,
end
whoa,
the
whoa,
year.
Hold on.
It is not honorary.
It's
My sit
It's legitimate.
of the week is a legitimate Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson. Sorry.
You are dancing
I am
with
dancing,
the devil.
I'm
We
dancing
both
with
did
the devil.
that.
Yeah.
He never really
I
did
never
it, right?
really did it. Now, Andy and Mike started Russell Wilson's
No.
crazy
Oh,
barrage
yes.
of great fantasy points by putting Russell Wilson as their sit of the week. And Andy told Mike the next week, well, I'm going to show you how it's really done. And Russell went on fire. That's why Russell Wilson, since that time, has been our honorary sit of the week. But I'm going to show both of you guys how it's really
How
done.
do you really sit
Russell Wilson has not thrown for less than 2 touchdowns in 8 weeks. And do you want to know who the team was 8 weeks ago? It was the Arizona Cardinals, who he's facing now not at home, but on the road in Arizona against a team where Bruce Arians wants to win, has to win, needs to win, wants that home field against Carolina should Carolina falter. I think our defense comes out great, comes gangbusters. I don't see Russell Wilson putting up, his 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. So to me, I think there are better options this week, and I'm getting off of I'm going to sit Russell Wilson.
All right, I'm
It's bold.
gonna take the softball at the quarterback position and sit down Phillip Rivers. If you're in a 12, 14 team league, you're tempted to start Phillip Rivers in
That's
the
a
final
hot take,
game.
Andy.
I'm going to bench him against Denver, find another option. Yes, his name's Phillip Rivers. Yes, he's owned and started in too many leagues, but don't do it this week. And I'm going to quickly move on to my running back sit of the week. It's Lamar Miller. No, thank you. New England's got the 9th best defense against fantasy running backs. You mix in the variables of what types of carries, or rather how many carries Lamar Miller will get, the opportunities. I don't like it. New England needs to win. New England's got a good defense. Sit him down.
I'm in my sit. This is really more of a gut check, hunch type of a situation. I'm sitting Matt Forte. They're playing against the Lions, who the defense of Detroit has been better. But where my concern is, it's the last game of the week, or the last game of the season for Chicago. It looks like they're prepping Jeremy Langford to be the workhorse next year. Matt Forte got a little bit banged up, but since Matt Forte came back 2 of the last 3 weeks, Langford out-touched him. So
you didn't even mention Kadeem Carey vulturing 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that happened as well. So with the team clearly not looking to give Matt Forte the kind of money that he's going to want, what reason do they really have to play him this week when this is their last chance to say before the offseason to say, can Langford be our guy?
So if you're the Forte owner and you got Forte and Langford,
I'm going to play Langford.
I like that.
Don't you think the usage of Kadeem Carey is indicative of their plan for next year? The fact they're trying to get him more
Forte
work
and
to
Kadeem
be
Carey.
the number 2 type guy on that roster next year, or at least compete for it.
Yeah.
I like that sit. I really don't think you're going out on a crazy limb there. I think it's okay. Again, this is all contextual, right? If you have somebody on your team that is not comparable to Matt Forte, even if he has a bad game, you got to start Matt Forte.
Correct. Yeah. If you have options in the same area as forte. I see a problem with his usage this week.
My sit of the week, I'll touch on it quickly because I mentioned it. It's Denard Robinson. He has been okay in relief of TJ Yeldon, but he's been okay against Indianapolis, Atlanta, and New Orleans, where you expect bigger things. And now he's coming up against the Houston Texans, a great defense. I think it's possible Denard catches something through the air that can go a long way, but I don't think he's going to get it done on the ground. I'm not loving him. I would rather start other guys again, like a Frank Gore over Denard Robinson. At wide receiver, I'll move on for us and go with my boy. He was one of my most disliked players before the draft, who I ended up trading for and winning a championship with.
That's how it happens.
It is Mike Evans. Mike Evans, he is a boom or bust type of player. He is a catch or drop guy, about a 50-50 odds. And this week he is traveling to Carolina. The Josh Norman, if there's a player that I think he could shut down, it would be Mike Evans. I'm not loving him. So if you've got a good wide receiver core, I get a lot of questions of like 4 or 5 really good receivers, and Mike Evans is usually in that list. I'd probably place him on the bench this week.
Evans was 3.
Oh. Breaking news.
In case you needed a further reason to start the Tennessee Titans, Des Bryant is on IR.
Yeah.
He's been there.
But
he's getting ankle surgery.
Surgery now.
Okay.
With surgery. So
Mike Evans was 3 for 32 last time they played Carolina, and I believe that was without Vincent Jackson as well, where we were expecting big things from him.
Yep, exactly. And last week against Chicago, only 4 for 61. I mean, it's all right, but it's not gonna win you a championship.
Yeah, I like it. I like that sit.
all right. So Mike,
Who am I? Oh, my wide receiver. I am sitting down the entire Colts wide receivers again. You give me Josh Freeman. You give me Ryan Lindley. I've seen that show before. It always ends in a tragedy, a Shakespeare-level tragedy. So I'm staying clear of that.
It brings back bad memories having Ryan Lindley's name thrown out there around playoff time. All right, Sammy Watkins is my wide receiver sit of the week. I alluded to it earlier versus Revis. This year, he was 3 for 14. He had his worst game of the season. This is a game that means a ton to the Jets. I think the kind of the youth of Watkins and the pedigree of Revis, I don't think he's going to get separation this week. Revis has been playing better, obviously healthier. I don't like Sammy Watkins. Yes, I understand how that sounds. He's been really good, and he will get deep shots to him. And if he connects on one of those, he might give you an okay game because they're going to take the shots to him. I just don't like the odds of that. So if you've got a comparable option, somebody might be out there saying, hey, do I want to start Brandon Cooks or Sammy Watkins? Because Watkins has been on fire. Just start Brandon Cooks. Don't mess around with Darrelle Revis in this one. And then at the tight end position, I'm going to sit down Richard Rodgers. Ever since the miracle Hail Mary that endeared him to every fantasy owner under the sun, he's had one catch in every game. It's just not good.
Was 3 games ago.
Yeah, so 3 straight games with one catch. He's not a fantasy option at tight end. That is the end of that story. So who's your tight end sit of the week? Jason.
It's a hot take.
It's a hot take because I am going to sit the number 2 tight end on the year. I mean, that's like, what? What are you doing, Jason? Jason, he's the number 2 tight end. What are you doing? That's right. I'm sitting Jordan Reed. And so here's why
Tell us why, Jason. We have no idea why you'd be sitting Jordan Reed.
Here's why I'm making him my sit of the week is because he will probably not play, or if he plays, he will play limited and very little. I'm worried about. You said earlier, if he gets the start, you'd play him. I'm saying I would not. If he's out there, I think he could very much end up with an honorable start. Get a drive and then be done. In which case, I'm saying plan for other options. Don't play Jordan Reed this week.
And I am going to sit again Austin Seferian-Jenkins. He got us. He got us with the Rochambeau at the end of the game last week.
Told you how good he was.
Yeah, he's very good. It only took his second catch of the game with time expiring on a completely meaningless Hail Mary touchdown. But here's his snap counts the last 3 weeks. He came back. They ramped him up. He was at 45. Then he dropped to 37. And then he dropped to 30% of snaps last week. Things are not trending the right direction for Seferian-Jenkins. I'm not considering him this week.
I don't blame you for that. The snap counts certainly are not what you want from a tight end. You can stream somebody that plays nearly every down. Why stream a guy that's barely out there and needs to rely on basically a touchdown and 2 catches? Is
Not just a touchdown, an expiring clock touchdown.
Exactly.
That doesn't matter.
Exactly. So we want to remind you, check us out on the web, thefantasyfootballers.com, on Twitter @theFFBallers. And we will also be doing a playoff challenge league and inviting everybody in. We already tweeted about it this morning. If you want to get involved in our Fantasy Footballers NFL Playoff Challenge just for some fun, play against us, we have sent out the information for that, and you can join us. We'll do that again. We'll put it on the website or something as well. So that is it.
It's on the Twitter sphere.
It's on the Twitter sphere. So that's it for today. Come back tomorrow with us as we get ready for 2016. We'll give you the rest of the matchups. We'll have some fun together. Jason will probably have his trophy, and he'll be rocking it like a baby. And so we'll be back tomorrow. See you guys.
Thank you for listening to another edition of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Don't forget to visit us on the web at www.thefantasyfootballers.com and follow us on Twitter @theFFBallers.